play on Broadway.
Yeah.
It's an important thing to talk about. You know, Edward R. Murrow, who was a reporter during World War II, and then our first great news anchor, talked about, this was about McCarthyism, but still some of those same themes. It's important to hear those words. We will not walk in fear one of another. We will not be driven by fear into an age of unreason if we dig deep in our history and our doctrine. And remember that we are not descended from fearful men, not from men who fear to write, to speak, to associate, or to defend the causes that are for the moment unpopular. I mean, those are important words.
Yeah.
And they ring true as much today as ever. And so, I feel, the movie or the play still ends the same way, which is that we are always going to, look, it's really simple. Democracy, and you guys will understand this deep in your DNA, democracy is like war. It has to be waged. It doesn't just accidentally happen. You have to stand for something. You have to stand up for things. You have to protest. My country is built on protest. The Boston Tea Party. Our civil rights movement came about through protest. Our women's rights movement. The Vietnam War was ended because of protest. You have to stand for things. And that's how things change. And democracy doesn't just accidentally fall in our lap and then it all works out. It's a living and breathing thing that is constantly challenged. And so we can't let go of the ball. We have to continually challenge power.
So you made a movie and played a movie where you were actually a presidential candidate in the primaries, The Ides of March. I wonder, because many of your movies are sort of political in many ways, and I wonder how the experience of being a politician on screen, does that change, the way you think about politics?
It tells me not to get into politics. I wrote the movie because there were things I thought candidates should talk about in a candidacy when you're running, because it ends up becoming about, Hillary Clinton's pantsuit or how you eat a sandwich or all the dumbest things, and not talking about real issues. And Democrats are really bad at this. They're bad at Democrats should come out as a presidential candidate and say, I'm for these 5 things, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you're for those, vote for me. If you're not, don't vote for me. I'm not your guy, girl. But that's not how we do it. And so I thought I'd write a movie where I could say all those things I wanted to say, but I didn't want it to feel like it was, going to school and getting a lesson. So I had to make my character, the president, very corrupt at the end and make him do some terrible things. But it's an interesting thing to be around.